This is one of the most recognisable British bird species. They're known for their red masks and golden wing bars. It's of course goldfinches. I've kept a couple of goldfinches over the past 6 or so years, and always to varying levels of success. The first goldfinches I had were actually Siberian goldfinches, which are a larger northern race of the European goldfinch. I had a trio of the Siberian goldfinches, a normal male bird that was split for agate, an agate hen and a normal hen. I housed them in an 8-foot by 4-foot aviary for the breeding season. It was one of the hens that immediately went to nest in a small wicker pan at the top of the aviary. She laid 4 eggs and she reared 4 chicks. Interestingly, she took a lot of insects and live food when the chicks were between 0 to 5 days old, and then as they aged, took more and more egg food and germinated seed to them. So they were quite varied in what they fed their chicks. I did have British goldfinches a couple of years ago, but I never actually managed to breed the British goldfinches straight. I did get very close. I remember having a pair, I think it was 3 years ago now, of the British native goldfinches. They built a nest in June, they laid 5 eggs, and then I think it was either the 5th or the 6th egg. The hen got egg bound and she sadly passed away shortly after, having struggled to pass that egg. With the eggs that were remaining, they were fertile as I tried to foster them under a surrogate parent of a redpoll, but sadly that redpoll did fail to rear them. I have bred goldfinch mules, however, which are absolutely stunning birds, and with the correct pairing you can get some amazing looking mules or songbirds depending on what you prefer. Something a lot of people don't realise about goldfinches is that the hens are monogamous. That means that they will mate with only one single male in a breeding season. So always be cautious in what you're putting together with them during the molt and throughout the winter months, because if they pair to something you don't intend on breeding them with, you might struggle to breed from that hen until the following season. Something also worth noting with goldfinches is that they are extremely sensitive birds. They seem really prone to stress, so I always had the most success in keeping them by housing them in quieter cages or aviaries that were slightly out of the direct path of myself when I'm doing my normal routines in the bird room. And some advice if you are thinking of keeping goldfinches: make sure you source them from a reputable breeder and ask for evidence that they were captive bred. There is some amazing captive bred and selectively bred specimens in aviculture, yet sadly I've heard of numerous cases of people unsuspectedly buying birds that they believe might have been wild caught because they got too large rings on. So if you are looking for goldfinches in the UK, they should have size C, British Bird Council or IOA rings on. Overall, goldfinches are a bird that I've kept and enjoyed in the past, but they're probably not something you're going to see too much of from my own experiences in the future, because they are rather common, so there's very little interest from a conservation perspective, and my heart is sat with other finches like the hawfinches.